Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we have an exciting video lined up for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an update from our channel.
Guys, in this video, we will be learning what is exception handling in Python. We will see what is exception handling, why do we use, and how we can implement exception handling in Python. So this exception handling Python has three parts. One, syntax errors. Second, exceptions. And third, handling exceptions with using try, except, and finally keywords. You must have seen so many buggy softwares, web application wherein suddenly programs breaks, right? The cause of an exception is often external to the program itself. For example, an incorrect input, a malfunctioning input output device, etc. Because the program abruptly terminates on encountering an exception. It may cause damage to system resources such as files. What is syntax error? Syntax errors, also known as parsing errors, are perhaps the most common kind of complaint you get while you are still learning Python. Okay, let's see what is syntax error. If I write while, will this statement run? Will this line execute? Will this parse? No, because we have made some mistakes while writing the lines. You see invalid syntax because we have missed the colon here. So this is the syntax error because it is not getting passed by parser. Okay, right? You see the output keeps running. The same statement keeps running because this statement is true. Let's stop it. Let's take different example. We are going to take one variable. We are going to divide 10 number by 0. Okay, this is parsable. This statement. Let's run program again. You see at runtime 10 cannot be divided by 0. So this is a specific exception in Python. In any language, 0 division error, right? Another example, v1 1 plus v2. Let's say v2 is some variable name, but it is not found here. If you run this program, you will see the different type of exception here, name error. v2 is not defined. This is other type of exception. Okay. Another example, v3. So this is also not allowed in Python. We are concatenating one integer type of value and second string type of value. If you run the program, you will see the type error. Okay, it is saying int and str we are concatenating. Okay, unsupported operand. So these were three cases. I have one function keeps running until we provide the correct input from the console. Okay, with the try block we have to use except. Okay, this is for showing us some value type error, specific type of exceptions, right? We have multiple type of exceptions which can be raised at the runtime. One of them is value error, right? Here we are assuming any user may provide incorrect input, right? Here we are expecting input should be integer type because it is converting any type of input into a integer type and then it is going to return. We have doubt on this line, on this code. User may input wrong value, maybe string type of value it can be provided from the console. That's why we are handling this type of suspect code. Okay, so value error as e, we are taking e as variable and we are printing. All right, now it is time to call the function. Let's run the program. So it is asking for input age. We say u, it is a string type, so it is saying this is not correct, please try again. So we again type in this is not correct, then this time we type 4. Now programs breaks because we have inputted the correct value from the console, which is it is expecting in the try block. So this code is now handled, right? You can use multiple except in the same try block. How we can do that? So let's write one more program. I have to comment this out. To read a file, we have to import sys so that we can achieve the open functionality, right? So this is a module sys we have to import. By using this sys module, we can get other functionality to read files, write files. That's why we have import this module. Okay, what we have to do, we have to open one file, any file you can open. Let's say in our program I have one test.txt file. It has one line message with exception. This file we will open and we will try to read the message. Okay, so for that I am going to open this file. Let's say test.txt. Okay, then we are going to read the file lines print the strings from the file. Very simple. Okay, let's run the program. File name is not correct, is it test.txt. So you see we have read the file message with exception. The same message is there in the file. So we are able to read the files. Now problem is we have to check whether this file is opened or not. So we have to handle it with the help of try block. Okay, in except we have to say there is IO error built in exception as E. It's a E variable. So from this variable we can get the error number. Very simple. We are handling read operation of the file and we are saying if the file is not opened, so it should be handled. Otherwise what would happen? It will break our program. It will terminate our program. Okay, so we are going to handle it. Let's say how will our program be terminated. So let's see this first. Okay, by mistake let's say I have input the wrong file name. Let's run the program. You see, so this is the exception at the runtime. Okay, interpreter does not know what is the file name, which file name it is referring to. So the exception is raised. You see, file not found error type of exception is raised. What will happen? It will terminate our program in between. Okay, so to handle this problem we are applying the try keyword and except keyword. We are handling the problem. Okay, so this is why we have handled it, and we can print string error. What is the error message? Okay, so this is one message will be printing if the file is not opened. Let's run the program again. Now you will see since the file is not available in our drive, right? This is test.txt, not test1. It handled it right while opening it. No such file or directory. Okay, so we got the message from this variable IO error exception. Okay, this is inbuilt class for exception. Okay, and the main class of exception is this exception class which is being used on this class. We were talking about using multiple except. One is we are handling input output. Let's say file is not yet opened. Let's say we are going to read the file content and we are going to convert the content from string to integer. Okay, let me take I or here what we are doing, we are converting our text from the file into the integer in this variable. Okay, so one is we have handled the file is there or not. Second, we are going to handle except value error as E, or you can say passed, right? This sort of message we can say. So let's run the program. What would happen? So first it handled the file is there or not. Okay, that's great. It is checked. Now we mention the correct file name. Let's see whether the second type of exception is being handled or not. You see, second type of exception worked properly because in our file, if you see, our content was in string format. You see, and what we are trying to do here, we are trying to parse string into the int, which is not allowed by Python. Okay, and we have handled it here. Value error. That's why this message appeared. Okay, let's say if we added this file, let's say 334, we have now add the correct content in the file. Now run the program again. You see, the same message, same value is printed from the file, from this line. Okay, so two type of exception we have handled through this code block. Now let's see what is try and finally keyword. Okay, it's a cleanup action, right? Let's say if you want to clean your resources which you are reading, let's say you are reading the file, you want to clean the resources, so finally keywords can be used to clean up the resources. Okay, try catch statement can be followed by a finally clause, right? Finally clause are called cleanup or termination clauses because they must be executed under all circumstances. Okay, that is a finally clause is always executed regardless if an exception occurred in try block or not. So this we are going to see. Let's say finally. So you can see. So this finally keywords, this block is making sure all the operations are closed. You can release the resources. The program is completed. You can mention any type of information in this block. If you run the program again, so you see all operations are performed. It will always be executed irrespective of error is occurred or not. Let's say I mentioned the incorrect file name. Let's see what happened. You see the error is occurred in this block, this is printed, but this line from finally block is also executed. You see, irrespective of any error is coming or not. Okay, that's why the finally block is used. One more keyword we can use with try block, that is else clause, right? Else clause is also there. We can see how else block works. So what we can do, we can use the same program here. So instead of reading the file content from here in this line, we can say after except else, right? We are saying so here what we are trying to do, we are just saying just open our file whether it is opening or not. If it is not opened, then see the message. Otherwise, if it is opened successfully, then read the file content and print it. So this is the use of else with try block. Okay, let's run the program. You see the error is appeared because the file is not there. That's why this line of code did not execute in the else block. Okay, let me correct the file name and run. You see the file is printed, the file content is printed with this else block. There is no issue, only one exception is handled, that is input output, like file is not found or file is found. Okay, you can close the file as well. F dot close. This is for cleaning up the file resource. Okay, let's run the program again. As soon as file is printed, file content is printed, you can close this resource. This is called a resource to opening up the file and preserve the content in some variable. So it will take memory and memory will be clean up once the content is read from the file. One more thing, if you want to see how many number of exception files are there, exception class are there in the Python, you can easily see. You just have to type exception. This is the exception class. You just right click. This is a PyCharm. Okay, right click, go into the implementation. Right here, if you see, this is a class. This is built-in function. This is a base class. Here you can see the inheritance. Base exception class is being inherited in exception class. Okay, if you see other exception class as well in the same class, if you see syntax error, we find zero division error, you see type error, we have seen system error. So there are different type of exception classes which can be used to handle the exception which may occur at runtime. Okay, these all exception class can be used in our program. Guys, the last point which we have to cover, that is raise an exception. How to raise an exception in Python, right? So let's see this. Let's say you have one variable x equals to, let's say, -1, and you are checking if x is less than 0. Then you can raise an exception. Raise exception. This is an exception. You can say this is the way how we can raise exception. We can check any condition, whether this is true or not. On the basis of the value, we can raise exception. If you run the program, let's run the program. You see exception is raised. This is a exception type class and the message which is we have printed right here. This is not allowed. If you want to raise a specific type of exception, this is also possible. Let's say you have x1 equals to high, then you can check if not. If it is not int, then we can raise a type error exception. Okay, if you run the program, first exception is raised, so the program got terminated. We have to comment this out, right? Run the program again. You see the different type of exception is being raised. Type error, you see integers should be provided. So this is the way how we can raise our customized exception.
That brings us to the end of the today's video. We hope you found it informative and engaging. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content on all things tech related. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.